Welcome to another episode of our series. Now, in this episode, I'm going to take you through how to set up your database. Now, we're going to use a relational database. That is, we will be using mongoDB. And for us to set up a mongoDB, first you have to have an account with mongoDB. So we will head to the mongoDB website, where I'm going to authenticate using my Google account. You can use your Google or even a GitHub account. So I already have an account with them, so I'm going to just log in directly. So when I log in, the first thing that is the landing page that is going to take me from the login is the home page of the MongoDB. Now, for me, you can see I have several databases, but now I have to create a new database for this particular project. So we're going to create a new project that is going to be a login, tutorial login. We're going to name it, that is the name that we're going to use to name it. So we're going to call it login tutorial. Login tutorial. So that is your project name. If you need to add any other tags as well, you can put them here, but we do not need to add anything as per now. Then it will navigate to this page that is asking for membership and permissions, but we're going to use the only user that you're going to assign this particular role is the email that I signed in with. So we will create our first project with that. So when you create the project, you can see it's directing us to another page, which is inside the project that we just created. But we have just created the project, we've not created the database yet. So we need to create our database. And creating our database, you can see everything will be popping up on your UI. So we're going to use a free cluster for this particular project. We're going to choose this one, cluster 0. You can name it as cluster 0, which is default naming of the cluster, or you can even change the name of the cluster that you want to create. So from there you can see some of the cloud computing storage that providers that are available. You have AWS, that is Amazon Web Services. You have Google, and we have Azure for Microsoft. So we're not going to be using any of all these cloud computing storages. We'll just use the highlighted one, the AWS. So there's no need to struggle so much about that. And then you can choose the region that you want to be. You can choose the nearest region to your geographical area. So any geographical area that is around, any area that is around your geographical area, you can choose from the list above. So I'll just go with that, the default one, and I will create my first DB. That is, now you're creating the DB. Okay, we can see some pop-ups here. You need to answer these questions. Motorcycle. So you'll answer where you can see the motorcycle. That is all I can see, the motorcycle. Let's see how it's going to. Yeah, that was nice. Now it's preparing for a DB. Now it's already created. We have already created our DB. Now the current page that is showing now is giving us the authentication details about our the user. We don't need to use this password. You can create our own password. I'll create my own password. So for the safety of it, let me just use something that's, you can create your own password the way you want it. So after that, you create your user database. Yeah, you've already created that, and yeah, you can do that. So now you are inside you already have your credentials, the ones that are going to be formed in a link to enable you access your DB. Choose connection method. You can choose the method that you want to connect using. I'll use this method here. You can see the link. This is the link for our DB. Now this link, you'll copy this link, then you copy it to the you'll copy it to your envs. So what are you going to write here? mongoDB mongo URL. Yeah, this is the URL that is going to be you're going to use this URL. You can see the URL contains the domains, then the username, password, and all that. But I advise you to use your own credentials, because when I'm done with this, I'll take down the DB. Now you'll need that is your link. Now you've created your link to your DB. You're all set to go, and yeah, your DB is set. You can see a database user has been added to this project. Create another user another user in your database users. No, we don't need this right now because we already created that one. But when you're sharing your database with someone else, you can give them the credentials to use your DB. An IP has been added to your IP address list. Okay, yeah, so our DB is already created. So with that said, let us jump uh, into our server and connect our DB to our to our project. So how will we go about that? Now I think we will use try and catch method. Try connecting our DB. Try and catch. No. So because this is an asynchronous function, we're going to await mongoose dot connect to our DB as a function, as a method. Then we'll call process dot env dot mongoDB dot mongol. Remember this, the mongo URL. Remember this, the mongo URL is this URL that we used here. Yeah, this is the URL that you're going to import to our server. So every time you're trying to access your link, the env is going to access it through the env process. Yeah, then we can use we will need to check if the DB is already connected to our backend. We're going to use console.log. Let us log and see. mongoDB is connected. Yeah, yes. Then the catch is going to handle our errors. So in this, we're going to console error, console.error, that is mongoDB connection failed. Yeah, you can either use that mongoDB connection failed, failed. Then we're going to throw the error that is going to cause the error. Yeah, this is you can see the error that is going to be thrown is going to be read by the system. Yeah. Then after the error has been read, you can process.exit. Process.exit. Now let us test and see if our DB has already been created. Okay, and make sure our DB is connected. So what do we have here? We will navigate to our backend. That is the file, the directory that we need. npm start. Npm server started. You can see the server started. The node mon is already there. We set it up in our previous video. Very nice. You see mongoDB is connected, so we're already connected to our database. You can see now the database is already connected. We have our DB connected, and it's listening. It's as well say responding to the port that is listening to. It's listening to port 3001. You can as well import it as process process.env .port. I hope this is what we have in our env. Yes, port. Yeah, so process.env.port. Yeah, let us see. Something as import. What was that? We have not imported the port, so what do we do? Const. We're going to declare the port as const port is equals to process.env.port. So this is what we're going to declare here. We're going to declare the port. Sorry, what was that? We're going to call this one here. What's not happening? What is this? Named export. Promise not found. Where is this promise coming from? No, we don't have this promise. Where is this promise coming from? This is the one which is causing the error. We don't need that. Very, very nice. You see now the port is already put in the environment, so you cannot be able to access the port. You can't see the port that we're using, but when you log, because the port is a port that we connected to our server, you can see this port is logging over here. So yeah, that is how you set up your DB. That is how you set up your environment, and yeah. So the first thing that we're going to do after we set up our environment is first create our navigation, our route. What is the purpose of our route? So the first thing that we're going to build is our model folder. Now, the model folder is going to contain the models that are going to be present for the DB. So the model is going to contain the schemas that are going to be controlling the database. So we're going to create our first folder, which is going to be model. We're going to control another folder that is going to it's going to be the control. The control is going to be controller. The controller is another directory that is for the uniformity of your code, and for other people to understand your code. You'll have to put them in a systematic way and arrange them in a more understandable way. So we're going to have the controller. The controller is going to contain all the controllers of different routes that we're going to create, and we need the router directory that is going to contain the routes that we're going to use. So um, our first approach is going to be, first we need to create uh, our first function that is going to be register. Yeah, register.js. That's our first extension. Then we're going to call this const register. Register, remember the register is for registering our new users. Register, const register. Then now we're going to use the arrow function. And it's going to contain rec for request and response. So this is some of the controllers that we're going to create. We're going to create the first controller is going to be register. Another controller that we need for our user is sign up, sign in. So the sign in controller is going to take us through the process of signing in when you already have an account that is registered. When you register your account, yeah. So you can see you've created register register. No, I think I should have used user. This one is, we're going to rename it as user. Yeah, we're going to rename it at user. Then the user is going to have register. It will have register and sign in. So those are the functions that are going to be contained in our controllers. Then we will create routes for those functions. So we're going to have our auth route. The auth route is going to auth.js. We will have the auth. We will have user .js. Remember, you're using JavaScript in this. So yeah, so we need to set up the first thing that we need here is to set up our route, to the user route. And to set up, we need to import some important some of the important extensions. We need the Express framework. Import Express from Express. Then we will import. Now, when we import Express, we need to set up our route. Const router is equals to Express, and we're going to set our Express route dot router. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to set it in our Express route. So you can say we already set up our route, but now we need first to set to call the first route that we need here. The first route is going to be to post our registered user. So we're going to use the express router that we created, route dot posts. What are we posting? We're posting that we created here, register. So we're going to have posts register as our path. Then we're going to call this function that we created, that is the function that we created here, that is what? Register. So we're going to call register, and remember we need to import that register that we just created. So what do we go about that? Import, and for us to import first, we need to export this sorry, we need to export it. Yeah, we need to export this controller const. I think I can, there's several ways you can do about it, but mine is, this is the syntax that I use. I export each and every functionality on its own. So I'll export this function that is register. It's a synchronize, is a sync function. So I'm going to export the async function, and as well you can export this one as export. You can see we have export cons, then we have a sync function. So when you come to the user, you'll see that you'll see now. Let us, for instance, try to register. Nice. You can see it's already, it has imported itself, or it has imported automatically from our controllers. Yeah. So we'll need the other one, which is another route, that is router dot post. Now this one is for sign up. When you're signing up, you're using the CRUD methods, that is create, update. Yeah. So we're going to use another post method that is for login or sign up, but this one you're going to use it as sign up. So what did we create here? We created sign in. So we're going to have sign in. You see, it's important as well. So you have two routes now. These are our two important routes that we need for our system, and for them to be accessible, we have to export them. Export default router. Yeah. So you can see we have exported them. Where we're going to export them? We're going to export them to our main server now, to the main template, to the main that is going to be handling all the central of our application, that is going to be the server. So we import them to the server. So importing to the server means that we're going to import those different routes, and we're going to import them as middlewares. So we're going to have what do we have here? We're going to use express server app dot use, yeah, use method that is a middleware that will enable us communicate between the backend and the APIs. What did we have here? APIs or register. So we will have register. Then we have register auth. Register routes. Register routes. Yeah. Let me see. Yes, we have register route. So we need to import it. We need to import it in our in our main. So import register route from no, I jumped. It's you can choose. You see, it's bringing us the available directories that you can import from. So we're going to import that one from the router. It's supposed to be route, not router. Then you import it from user. Yeah. So we've already imported our. Is it? Yes, it's from the user. Then we're going to import the other route that we created. That is the APIs. Then we will import what we created another one that was login. So we will import the login route. Then we have login router. Login route. So we need to import it here as well. Import login routes from router user. Yeah. So we've already imported these two routes that we need for backend. Now let us save and see if it's already linked. So we have an error. What is the error? What is the error saying? Did you mean import router? Where is this? Cannot find module. Did you mean import router user? Router.js. We need to remember, if you don't use this extension user.js, you're going to incur an error. So you must have that with you. Let me see. Yes, it has to be there. You see, we're incurring the same error because when you import it, we're importing it from controller user.js. So you need to have them. You need to have those extensions available for you. That is for the ECMAScript. Yeah, we need them for ECMAScript. Very nice. You can see they've already. Yeah. So we already sorted our registration, login registration, our login registration and register registration is already up in our server. So you can register your user as well as you can log in to your account. But first, to make sure that is all well and functioning, we need to test and make sure that everything is working correctly. So we need to use another system that is going to enable us test our APIs. We're going to use Postman. Postman is used for testing APIs and making sure your APIs are working accordingly, and you cannot optimize them accordingly, because you cannot say what you're working on from the server. You need something that you need an engine that can be able to test and make sure that your APIs are well and running. So we've already created our APIs, the login and register APIs, but now we need to test them, and to test them we will use Postman. So I'll take you in the next episode that we're going to test our APIs, then navigate our system to our landing page. Now in our landing page, we're going to contain something different this time. We want our landing page to contain a checkout page, and the checkout page is going to contain integrated APIs that will enable you make payments online. That is M-Pesa integration. For instance, you want to make your payments, and you want people to buy goods on your website or any platform that you're using, and you want them to use online. We're going to integrate through M-Pesa that you can be able to feed your pay bill or even the till number, but for this time we're going to use till number for you to submit your application, your payments. So I'll see you in the next episode of our series, and please don't forget to give a thumbs up, to continue growing our channel.